All right, again, nerds, we're doing yet another video without a PowerPoint. Like I said in the last one, I don't want to like postpone these and not have fun and drink wine with you just because I'm suffering from this like type 1 A type personality perfectionist stagnation thing, whatever is happening in my brain. Um, so let's just talk about wine while we, drink some in my kitchen. So in the Northern Hemisphere, which is where I am, it is becoming autumn. We are in the transition. It will be, no, it is September. Holy heck, it's already September. Okay, well, now that I've had that moment, um, in spring, right, a lot of people will transition from drinking reds to whites by drinking rosés, which is nice and fun and a good tradition. And you can drink rosés and whites any time of year. There are no rules, no rules. But if you do like doing some like fun transitions like that, I like to drink orange wines to transition from the whites to the reds. One, they're these cool autumnally orangey colors. They can be a variety all the way from like a very light off peach inside of an apricot to pretty amber. These two are very similar because they're made from the same grape, but love the color for autumn. The vinification process is very similar to red wine. So it starts getting your palate, used to the more tannins. I don't know, whatever. They're also just like having a moment right now. They're fun, they're funky, kind of like the pet nats. They're trending. So we're just gonna like rock and roll and talk about some orange wines and do a little drinking. So let's talk about the history of orange wine real quick. Again, like no PowerPoint, no Google Maps, but orange wines, despite that they seem all new and trendy, actually are super old because they come from Georgia, not the like United States pecans and peaches Georgia, but the country of Georgia off in the middle of the Caucasus. Yeah, Caucasus region. Forgot how to pronounce words for a second. So if you haven't had a chance to watch the Georgia video, highly recommend that. I think we drank Saperavi during that video. Excellent wine. But Georgia has been making wine for now, we think approximately 8,000 years. So orange wine is very old. Um, they made it in the Kveveries. I think I already said that. So let's talk about how we're making wine. Obviously, you can still make it in the Kveveries, but in general, when you're talking about the winemaking process for orange wines, think about red wine, not white wine. I know, these are white grapes, but the whole point of the orange wine is that the grapes, okay, so white wine, right? You take the grape juice, you take the grape skins, they don't hang out together. Orange wine, the grape juice is left in contact with the skins for days, weeks, months, like totally up to the winemaker, up to what they want the end result to be. They're hanging out with the skins. So this skin contact is what, and you'll sometimes hear orange wines called skin contact white. It just means orange wines. So anyway, hanging out with the skins is what gives it, kind of an interesting texture because you have those phenolics. It can sit a little heavier, the tannins, because it hangs out with the skins, unlike whites. It can have a tannic effect like red, where it'll dry out your mouth a little. If you were to be doing a systematic approach to tasting, when you get to the end, not the end, but after you do all the flavors and aromas, when you talk about, is it dry? What's the alcohol level, the acid level? You could in fact talk about the tannin level because it's had skin contact. I think that's all I have really to say about the winemaking process. Now, if you want to talk about what grapes you can use for orange wine, it's actually kind of like rosés and pet nats. Like one of the beautiful things about orange wine is the world is your oyster. You can make it from pretty much any white grape. Okay, to clarify, rosés can be made from any red grape with some white blending, whatever. We've talked about that, I think. Pet nats can be made from any grape. Orange wines can be made from any white grape. But some of the varieties have become more popular. So you've got like Ricatatelli, which if we haven't done a Ricatatelli video, we really should. I love Ricatatelli. Anyway, especially being a Georgian wine, it is a more popular choice for making orange wines. And then like the two I have here are actually both Pinot Grigio because I don't know, I bought them and I don't think I really realized that, but they're different somehow. Somehow we understand lots of grape varietals can be different. I'm having a moment. This is like my third take of this video because my brain just keeps going everywhere, possibly because there are children outside my house screaming because it's summer and that's what children do. It's autumn and that's what children do. See, really just having a time. And then I think I saw, let's see, Sauv Blanc, and then this grape that I don't know how to pronounce, which was really exciting to learn about a new grape. And I think it's Ribolla Gialla. I probably should have found a pronunciation thing to play for all of you. I will look for it before I post this video, and I say that knowing full well it's entirely possible that by the time I post this video, I will not put it in the kind of like caption description. So bear with me. Hopefully I will give it to you. What makes a good candidate as a white grape for an orange wine? It's all about that phenolic content that I mentioned before. So how much flavor can this grape give the wine? How much tannin, how much color, structure, complexity? These aren't your very like basic, simple white wines. You want these to be rich and complicated and blah, 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 blah. So the more phenolics, the more that structure and complexity can develop. Serving temperature is again a fun, like these aren't Pinot Grigio, you would serve chilled. These you wouldn't. So I'm going to get the book to make sure I'm not telling you the wrong thing. I definitely have this memorized for my exam, and I'm going to have it memorized for diploma. Right now, I want to make sure I'm telling you exactly right. And obviously I'm having some memory and brain struggles. So your light or medium bodied white wines, which is going to be your Pinot Grigio, your Sauvignon Blanc, those are chilled. So 7 to 10 degrees Celsius or 45 to 50 Fahrenheit. That is not the serving temperature for these wines. These wines are going to be 10 to 14 Celsius or 50 to 57 Fahrenheit, which sounds very similar to your medium or full-bodied or oaked white wines. So think of like white Burgundies, Fumé Blanc, some of maybe the warmer climate Chardonnays. You know, could you do a Chablis? Chablis is not usually oaked, so I probably wouldn't. Which all of those are lightly chilled is the classification, 10 to 13 degrees Celsius, 50 to 55, which is even, the threshold is a couple degrees cooler. So you also, now there's a bell outside. I have no idea what's going on. It's on, like I'm wearing a sweatshirt. What is happening? Light-bodied red wines, like your Beaujolais and your Valpolicella, those are lightly chilled, and then it doesn't give a range, just 13 Celsius or 55 Fahrenheit. So you do serve these a little bit warmer, and I think we've talked about this. The main reason why is because if you over chill them, you're just going to get a mouthful of tannins, and all of the aromatics and the fruits will have been subdued because when things are cold, molecules don't move as fast. Science, chemistry, cool stuff. I want this to be like an intro to orange wine video, so I could say a little bit more, but let's stick with that and then kind of talk about food pairings. The super cool thing about orange wines is that because they are, you know, white wines with tannins and boldness, they're really versatile. So honestly, I don't even want to give a ton of guidelines. You could do some roasted spicy curry type things. If you're doing like a vegan, think like savory mushroom, grilled vegetables. Like, oh no, I want like, you know, when you cut up zucchini and then you char it with the like very blackeny. Anyway, lots of choices with this. Not necessarily your lighter white wine pairings and not your heavy red pairings, but again, look for, you know, what do I like to have my heavy whites with? What do I like to have my lighter reds with? And probably they're going to go with these. There was something I was just thinking I needed to mention, and now I can't remember what it was. So if I think of it, I'll bring it up, but I need a drink at this point. Okay. I promise we actually use this thermometer. I don't really eat meat. And we actually use this thermometer more for like, I think we've measured the air temperature with it. I used it in my Impossible Burger today. Anyway, it's clean. But I'm doing this for, you know, science purposes. So we're gonna put it in here. Don't let it touch the glass. Might have let it warm up too much. 59.7 Fahrenheit. This doesn't do Celsius, I'm sorry. Oops. Huh, also 59.7, interesting. Okay, so these are a little warmer than they should be, but it could be fun. So, I haven't told you what they are. This is Albino Armani's Orange from the Basement. I think the pet net that we had was Bubbles from the Basement, or maybe I just had that with my partner, I can't remember. And this is Albino Armani's Yikes. Coleara from Valdadige, Val, it's also Adige, so would it be Valdadige? My friend Nick, who's Italian, is probably weeping right now because he did try to teach me how to pronounce things, and clearly, along with my brain not working with anything, it's not working with pronunciation. So I believe on Vivino, the I know my resource, the From the Basement got a 3.8 and averaged around like $19. And the, we're just gonna call it the Coleara, was like maybe $23 and got a 4.1. So pretty similar, but I wanted to keep it right around that affordable, but like you can't really do cheap orange wines right now because they're in heavy demand. So supply and demand means the price is a little hefty right now. So let's do our typical. I think when we had these the first time, my partner said feet, and now I get a little barnyard, so feet. But there's some orange zest, a little lemon lime. Scratch that from the record. Candied lemon. That's definitely what that is. Maybe a blossom. Ooh, whoa, hold on. There's a really nice stone fruit in there, and I'm thinking it's peach. But it could be overripe apricot. Oh my God, that's so good. All right. I would give that a medium plus to high acid. And I would want to try it again. My acid sometimes is a little, my acid is sometimes off. That's such a weird statement. Sometimes my acid sensation is a little off. I would give it a low tannin. Like there's a little bit of that drying effect. I already know the alcohol, it's like 12 and a half, I think. So, which is to be expected. I say I know, and then I'm totally wrong. It's 13, whatever. On the palate though, let's drink this one more time. If you unfollow me after this video, I'll be sad, but honestly, I promise to be more organized next time. Scouts honor. I was a Girl Scout for like 6 months, so it counts. I get a lot of those same flavors with almost like a honeyed melon, I think. Yeah, like if you, not honeydew, if you put honey on, no, it is honeydew. Okay, I was thinking I got the honeydew and cantaloupe mixed up. Honeydew, but also with honey. Let's taste the other one. Good grief. This one smells a little bit. I don't, I struggle so hard saying anything mean about wines, but yeah, funky and inspiring, old vinification. Says certified sustainable quality. There's something about it to me that almost smells like there might have been a touch of acidification, which is just where you add, it's totally allowable. I think we've talked about this before. You just add a little bit of acid to the wine to help it get acidity. But there's just something. And I would say the acid feels different on this one. I would call it the same level, medium plus, but it feels different. So I wonder if there was acidification on this. It's still good. Some more, excuse me, some more orange rind, a little bit. some pear, some apple. Very like classic white wine notes. But I like the less expensive one more. So I'm gonna have to, I will look a little bit, if I remember, I will look a little bit into the vinification process and see what might be different about this one. I don't think this one says the region. Oh, it does. It's Della Venezia. Okay, well, I will do a little bit of research, presuming I remember, and see if there's kind of a general difference. This, I'm getting into diploma, so I'm gonna need to know this stuff between the Della Venezia DOC and the DOC that I'm not gonna try to pronounce again because I really felt bad about how I ruined that. It does say the Adige Valley, so all right, whatever. If you didn't stick through the tasting, I get it, trust me. But I hope you enjoyed some of this information about orange wines. We will definitely go a little more into some of the things you can do with orange wines. I'll try to do a little better on the food pairing. Maybe we'll even eat some food the next time we talk about orange wines. It'll be a hot minute though, because we have a lot to cover. So I hope you've learned a little bit. Don't overchill your orange wines, please. Have a wonderful autumn. And don't listen to anything that I tell you to do. If you like them chilled, drink them chilled. If you like them warm, drink them warm. And I will see you next time. I promise it'll be more organized.